Can you imagine standing up when you're in prison saying it's not my responsibility? I take no responsibility. It's not. I mean, literally. Literally.
Those words didn't come out of our mouths while we were in office.
I don't understand his inability to get a sense of what people are going through. He just can't. He can't relate in any way.
Well, and one of the things that I have always known about you, Joe, it's the reason why I wanted you to be my vice president and the reason why you were so effective. And it all starts with being able to relate. If you can sit down with a family and see your own family in them and the struggles that you've gone through or your parents went through or your kids are going through, if you can connect those struggles to somebody else's struggles, then you're going to work hard for them. And that's always what's motivated you to get into public service.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Wow, welcome to Motors with the Motivator. I am your boy, the Motivator, Joshua J. Raby. Yo, we're still in the series of streaming live from home. Just like all the other nighttime talk show hosts and all those guys, we're making it do what they do while we are in quarantine lifestyle. Last week, I had an opportunity to get out and venture out to some cool places and talk to some people with my mask on. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me earlier on Instagram where my mask is. I want y'all to know I have my mask. Yeah, I don't need it on right now, but I definitely have my mask on. Listen, this is a series that we're going to be doing this week, all the way up to the 19th. We do them as we get the requests and the approvals. We are meeting municipal candidates that are running for office within Jefferson County. I think Centerpoint has an election. Brighton, Lee's, I think Liscum, Trustville. There's so many others. Fairfield. All those municipalities have their elections coming up. And so tonight, y'all, I get an opportunity to sit down and have sit down virtually and have a candid conversation with an awesome gentleman that is running for mayor of the great city of Centerpoint. But before I do that, We have to thank our sponsors for even allowing us to be on there. And I can't do it without Hollywood Grill Food Trucks. Hey, give them a call, 205-580-3140. Tell a dude that the motivator sent you that way. Make sure you go listen, you got to try the Polish. You got to try the Polish sausage. The Polish sausage is like my favorite thing on the menu. So make sure you guys tell our dude that I sent you for that. Miss Dana Flanner, she is the realtor for you to call. Let Dana provide you with dynamic services. I guarantee you, she's going to walk you through from the beginning to the end of home ownership and being a home owner. Let's not forget beards extends. Y'all, Ash Nicole, those beard extends are amazing. Makes you look like somebody, gets you all shiny and make you look good. Today, I don't look like it, y'all. Look at me. I don't look like it today. And I feel bad because we have the honor of having an amazing gentleman with us this evening. But he told me it was my show so I could look any kind of way today. And Miss LaVonda Johnson, my senior business partner in Tava Lifestyle. Y'all, we got new look, new style. This is the company that you want to be a part of because we're helping people lose weight, look good, and get where you go. Yes, Cleo King, vote, 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 and vote. That is the subject of the topic tonight. Cleo King, I actually need to talk to you soon, sir. Cleo has kind of become my unofficial political commentator on the show. So, Cleo, let me know what your availability is to jump on if you're able to jump on. All right. So the gentleman that we have with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he is at a task to become the first African-American mayor of a city of Centerpoint. And so I'm excited. He is currently finishing out his first term as a city councilman, I think of place 1 in the great city of Centerpoint. Of course, I'm talking about that man right there, Mr. Bobby Scott for mayor. August 25th is the elections, but you don't have to wait till then to talk to him. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to Motors with the Motivator, none other than Mr. Bobby Scott himself. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Let me turn this down just a little bit there so we won't have any verbs going on. How's everything?
Everything is good. Out campaigning, trying to get the word out, get as many people involved as possible. So I think I'm doing good. Very optimistic.
Absolutely, absolutely. So real quickly for you guys that have never watched Moses with the Motivator, the bar is open. When I say that, that means the comment area. Go ahead and put your comments in the box. We will share your comments. If you got any questions for Mr. Scott, he has told me he is open to answering questions. Other than what I have, he wants to answer your questions. And we want to make sure that we are answering the questions that are needed. If you have any concerns, please let it be known. Also, I want it to be known, I did reach out to every municipality of elections, people that have elections in all the municipalities. I sent out Facebook messages and emails and text messages if I had your phone number. The current mayor of Centerpoint did not reply back to any of my messages to have him on the show this evening. I did reach out to several other people, and I'm still waiting on them to reach out to me. So, Mr. Scott, let's talk for a minute. Who is Bobby Scott? I'm gonna move myself out the way for a second so you can introduce yourself to the people of Motors with the Motivator.
My name is Bobby Scott. I'm a current first place 1 council member in Centerpoint, Alabama, finishing up my first term. I grew up in Hale County, went to UAB, moved to Birmingham to go to UAB. Graduated from Herzing actually with a computer information systems degree. And then we found a home out in Centerpoint. I've been in Centerpoint 18 years. I love it out here. We looked at houses in Hoover, Vestavia, and I really enjoyed being in Centerpoint. Love my garage. We got a big house, big space in the garage, so that was one of the selling points for me. 2 kids. My daughter Brianna's 20. She's a junior at UAB. My son's 14. He goes to the IB school out at Pleasant Grove, which we have our own issues with school right now. So I've been married for 22 years to my wife Sabrina, and I'm just just that average guy that wants to do more in this community. I support kids. Try to do as much as I can to be active.
Definitely. All right, so let's jump into the major question. But Scott, why are you running for mayor of Centerpoint? We heard that you love it, but why are you? What gravitates you to say, I think I could take to him as a leader of Centerpoint?
I have a lot of aspirations to see the city grow, to see the city better. I don't plan on moving, so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it's a livable place for, not just me and my family, but for everybody. So, happy people make good neighbors, and I want to get as close to that as possible.
So most people would say, well, Centerpoint is still kind of fairly young. It was incorporated in 2002,
Right.
so it's still young. But how does a city so quickly lose businesses and get to a place where people see crime developing more there?
I think when you have development in other cities, large developments, a lot of people get moved around. So you end up getting a lot of people that are in and out. A lot of transient residents. You know, if you don't have a pride in where you live, and if you're moving from, if you're constantly moving around, you barely get to develop that pride in where you live. So you'll tend to see more crime and issues like that when you're in that situation. So I just want to be that person to inspire community, to give people a little something to be proud of. So you have a yard, you want to take care of your yard. You don't throw trash out of your car in the community. You don't want to break into your neighbor's stuff. So it's a tough issue that we have around the country, but I want to start at home.
So let's talk about the economics of Centerpoint.
Right.
We businesses. How do you plan on keeping businesses around Centerpoint and bringing new businesses? Because I've had friends that have tried to get a business license in the city of Centerpoint, and it seems like you are jumping through multiple hoops. How is that possible? What's next?
You want to make the process as simple as possible, as easy as possible, especially for small businesses that don't have a lot of capital to throw here and here and here. The best probably thing would be to bring in developers who also take care of inspections and making sure everything is up to par, and then renting those businesses out to smaller businesses. And as far as the city is concerned, we want to make that process as easy as possible. Offer as much help as we can from a city standpoint, and not make it difficult, where people want to overlook us and go to another city, because we have a lot of potential here. I mean, we are a bedroom community, meaning we're behind Strussville that has two exits off of the interstate. Birmingham, Huffman area, they have an exit off of the interstate. So we're behind two major cities, really, but our potential still lies in Highway 75 that sees a lot of traffic every day. So we want to give people something when they're on their way home, they can stop in Centerpoint.
Definitely, definitely. Real quickly, welcome to Moses with the Motivator. I am Joshua J. Raby, better known as the Motivator. You're tuning in right now on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Apple Podcasts, which is iTunes, Speaker Now, and every other platform that we are on right now. Welcome and good evening to you. We are in a deep conversation, a candid, open conversation with Councilman Bobby Scott of Place One in Centerpoint, who is running for mayor in the city of Centerpoint. So, what are some from 2002 to now? What are some things that you've seen that has changed in the city of Centerpoint?
Major, I guess the first thing that stands out is public housing. So we've really gone from a community where a lot of people own their homes. We used to be a retirement community. Way before we were incorporated, it used to be a slow, retirement situation where a lot of people had owned their homes for a really, really long time. And then I think you had the issue of demographics starting to change, a lot of apartment units switching over to federal housing. public housing type environments. So a lot of people, instead of selling their houses, they converted their houses to the public assisted houses, Section 8 housing and everything. So I think that kind of started our change in demographics. So over that 10 years, that 10-year span, Centerpoint literally switched from being a predominantly white community to a predominantly Black community. So, you know, I think in order for us to continue to grow, we have to keep up with that change. So
Now, in the last few years, few months, a lot of apartment fires have happened in the city of Centerpoint. And there are a lot of businesses leaving. There are a lot of people deciding they want to throw their stuff out the car. How do you combat that? Like, as mayor, what would you do?
you know, that's a good question, and I believe there are answers and there are solutions out there, and we have to sit down and figure out what's the best step for us to reverse that. So, you know, we do have one of the best fire departments in the state. Our Centerpoint Fire Department is a 1A rated fire department, which means your housing rates, your insurance rates are lower because of the fire department in the area. So, you know, they do well at their job. They're great at their job. I commend them for being first responders and everything. So, but it's not going to be a step in and automatically fix this issue. We all have to kind of join together and fix it. So I'm willing to listen to solutions that anybody has. I mean, if you're willing to offer and sit down and talk and we hash out what's the best way to go about solving this problem, you know, give me a call. I don't think any one person has the answer to completely getting rid of crime, completely getting, you know, rid of everything that's wrong with the city.
Right. The comment box is open. If you have any questions, feel free to type in your question in the comment area, and we will post those up so Mr. Scott can answer those particular questions. City government needs to be transparent, open, and available to citizens. How do you plan on making that happen in your administration?
I think with today's communication, and then especially with COVID, I think a lot of our resources should be available online. So if you need something from the city, or if the city makes any decisions, it should immediately be posted in a place where people have access to it publicly. And you know, as you are on online right now, Facebook, you know, your website, keep all of those items updated. Keep our, you know, I plan on having an open door policy. So, and just in general, if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. If I don't have the answer, I'll get it for you and call you back. So that's definitely just the type of person I am. So I don't think it'll be hard to provide that open transparency.
Okay. Another question people want to know, Ms. Scott, do we continue in the city of Centerpoint? Do we continue using the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, or do we open the idea of having our own police department?
I think we could open that idea. I think we need to fully research it first. I think we don't step into that without knowing all the pluses and the minuses. You know, the pros and the cons to having a police force in the city. Budget wise, you know, we are still a small city. Our budget is not what Trustville budget is, or our budget isn't what Birmingham's budget is. So in order for us to start and maintain a police department, we will have to get other funding from somewhere else to make sure that it's fully staffed. You don't want to hire 6 police departments and you got 3 shifts. So you got one question. I mean, you got one car.
Gotcha.
You know, you want to make sure it's fully staffed. You want to make sure it's done right. We'll have to come up with the courthouse. We'll have to come up with the jail. We'll have to come up with guns, cars, all of that stuff. You know, it costs money. And I think we need a full research panel before we decide to move forward.
What is the budget of Centerpoint, if you can tell us?
Workable, it's about 1.5 million. That's, you know, available, so to speak. I think total maybe close to 4 with, if you count in all of our city works and certain things that we pay for as is.
Now, we talked about earlier, the demographics of Centerpoint has changed drastically over the years. Like you said, hold on, we got some technical problems going on over here. Drastically, the city has changed from being a retirement city to being family oriented. A lot of people moving in, different ethnicities, diversity. Does the city of Centerpoint already caters or helps those of bilingual language, Hispanics, those that do not speak English?
In the school, but definitely not as much as we probably should. Uh, the Hispanic population is growing in our schools, definitely. Even small businesses. We have a lot of Hispanic patrons that have started their own business. So yeah, we definitely should look into offering more avenues for translation and assistance.
Okay. Okay. So there are a lot of new faces running in Centerpoint right now.
Right,
I will also say there's a fast growing of African Americans running in the city of Centerpoint.
right. Yep, definitely.
That's something I don't think people were expecting.
Right, and honestly, it's good to see. I think what happened a while back, right? So we formed our own government in 2002, and I think it just kind of was one of those things that people didn't know that Centerpoint wasn't Birmingham, or that Centerpoint was no longer unincorporated Jefferson County. We had our own government, so we had a few elections that went by that really nobody even knew they were supposed to go and vote. So I would say over this last 4 years, especially when I ran for city council, a lot of people learned otherwise, that we do have our own government, we do have our own mayor. And over that next 4 years, I think more people were interested in the politics. What can I do to help? Which is always a good thing when you have residents seeking out how they can make their city better. So definitely we have more Blacks entering the race. A few in particular, Ebony Copeland, she's running for place 5. DM Collins is running for my seat at place 1. Sharon Jones is running for place 4. And Tiffany Collins Moore, who's a teacher at the high school, is running for place 3. So these are all active women that are looking to help make a difference in the city.
African American women that are making a change. Well, before we kind of go into my next question to you, Mr. Sims had a question. I think we answered it earlier, but Mr. Scott, have you served the city council, etc., prior to running for mayor? And I'll let you kind of answer that again.
Yes. This is the end of my first term. So I decided to make the decision probably about a couple of years ago to throw my hat in the ring for mayor the next time around.
What year did you run?
I ran 2016.
So who was the prior city council for that area?
That was Danny King.
Okay.
So I beat out the incumbent, and I was also in a runoff. You don't want to be in a runoff in most elections because they're really poorly attended. With Centerpoint in general, the elections are poorly attended. So that's why it's very important this time around that we get more residents out to vote, more people aware that we have an election. You have 8,000 registered voters in the city. You barely get 1,000 voters out to the election. So,
wow. I know the answer to this, but for those that are wondering and still scratching their head, what is the organizational structure of the city of Centerpoint? We know we got a mayor and city council, but you guys run at large, correct?
Yes. So Centerpoint doesn't have districts. Each council member is responsible for any area in Centerpoint. So even though I live on the northwest side, if a resident has an issue on the northeast side and they're more confident or comfortable with calling me, they're more than welcome to. And I go through the same process as any other council member to get them help.
Is it more city council ran or mayor ran?
The mayor runs the city as far as employees executing our ordinances, our laws. The city council makes the laws and the ordinances.
Of course.
Or the budget. They approve the budget. They approve any spending, funding. Pretty much everything goes through the council. So you want to have a council that's agreeable. As far as being the mayor, you want to be in a position where your council is logical and well thought out and everything. So
absolutely. So August 25th is election day.
Right.
People at Centerpoint are watching right now. There are a few on here, and others will go back and listen. Mr. Scott, why should they vote for you? That's the first thing. Secondly, what is your platform? And third thing would be what makes you different? What grand scheme of it all, what makes you different? So I'm going to give you a chance to speak to the people from your heart, you know.
Okay. Well, first of all, as far as being a politician, I don't like to call myself a politician. I consider myself a public servant. So from beginning to end, it's always been about helping the people, not necessarily name recognition or anything else. I'm a big advocate of youth sports and the youth in general. So I've been on the PTA, been the PTA president 2 times, 2 years in a row. Anything I could do for any of our schools, the principals will let you know that I'm always available. So, and that's what makes me different as well is, I don't help when something's up. I'm always helping. So normally today I would have been at the youth park. We have football practice that's still going. So normally that's where I am, unless I'm helping in some other aspect. But my platform is basically to continue to provide resources for our youth and our residents, to help improve the safety conditions in the city of Centerpoint, as well as economic development. Try to bring in more businesses, networking, development, improving what we have.
Definitely. All right, so we got another question for you. And it's from Mr. Stanley. And it says, how many candidates are running for mayor of Centerpoint? How does your platform differ from other candidates? And can you give specifics on your agenda for the celebratory gunshot firing? Man, I thought I was the only one that heard that when I'm over in Centerpoint. Go ahead, sir.
Let's see. We have currently 4 candidates in the race, which includes the current mayor. We have and 2 other candidates besides myself. My platform is different from the aspect that I have served on the council for 4 years. So I do know a little bit more as far as the aspect of the politics go. Names that you would need to know, people that you would need to talk to in this particular field. I know it's hard coming in as a first-time person and then knowing who to talk to, what to do, what things you can't do, because it's not as dry cut as passing this and calling it a day. There are a lot of politics and legal ramifications to decisions that you have to make. So I'm sure everybody wants a safer city, definitely. Even my opponents, they want a safer city. I just think I have a more open view of how to get that done. As far as the celebratory gunfire, man, we've gone over so many ways to try to curb that, and definitely working with Jefferson County as well as Birmingham to come up with a plan um, to curb that. And if anybody has any solutions on how to better fix that, because I know Birmingham has the same issue, Tarrant, Pinson. So it's it's one thing to see somebody shooting the gun and calling the police and remaining there until the police get there so you can report it. That's what we need more of, because then they can handle that from their aspect. But if you don't see anybody shooting and I could just easily say, everybody stop shooting your guns in the air. But how many people are going to listen to me? We need people that want that to stop to call the police and to remain there to fill out a report when the police get there. That way they can put cameras up. They can create they call it a hotspot, and they can have patrols run through, put cameras out, and see if they could curb that behavior.
Gotcha. All right. So, Mr. Scott, how does someone get a part of your campaign? How do they get on board to help you be successful August 25th?
The main thing is to vote. Come out and vote August 25th. Anybody you know that lives in the city, bring them with you. I mean, that's going to be the major thing. And a lot of campaigns now is run online. So go to my page, vote for Bobby Scott, or Bobby Scott for Mayor on Facebook, BobbyScottForMayor.com online if you need my page, and basically reshare. Make sure that as many people get to see it as possible. If you want to do some good old footwork, walking from door to door, let me know. Send me a message. We do have dates set out for canvassing to go to different neighborhoods and everything. If you want a sign in your yard with my name on it, send me a message and I'll bring one by your house.
Wow. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, with that is, as we're doing these interviews, I want people to know whether I have connections to people or don't have connections. We're being neutral in these interviews. But I would say it does take funding to make a campaign happen as well. So I will personally say it for him. Hit him up, his campaign up for funding. Mr. Scott probably have passed each other in events before, but this is the first time we've actually had a real conversation before.
Right.
So
yeah, if you're adamant about donating, go to my website. There is a link on there for Act Blue, or hit me in the inbox and I'll send you the link if you're really adamant about donating to the campaign. I really appreciate it. So yes.
Right. Definitely. So that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Register. Let him know how you can help if you want to support him. I do want to state this one more time. I'm trying to get Cleo King to pop in, but I want to state this one more time. I have reached out to every municipality that is running an election on August 25th. This free to come on this show to talk about what your platform is, what you want to do. Now, if you want to advertise, we can talk about that too. But I am opening up the doors because it is important that we get out the vote. August 25th speaks volumes for what happens November 3rd. I'm going to say it again. August 25th speaks volumes to what takes place August 3rd. And so, we'll see. My boy, vote for this man. Listen.
That's one of my park dads right there. So I appreciate it.
Whatever municipality you are in and your election is August 25th, you are more than welcome to come on this show. You are more than welcome. From Fairfield to Centerpoint to wherever you are, as long as you're in Jefferson County, I want to open up that door for you to come on. I realize how hard it is, especially during COVID-19, just to get an interview, just for people to hear your platform. Ain't nobody really knocking on doors. If you are, my hat is off to you. Put a mask on. So please make sure of that. Mr. Bobby Scott is my friend. He's a very kind friend. Please vote for him. Thank you. So there you got it. Listen, matter of fact, I'm gonna take a second before I let Cleo come in. Everyone that supports Mr. Scott, go ahead and give him a shout out real quickly. Show him that he has support system behind him. And I'm gonna do that for every candidate that comes on here, by the way. But give him a shout out. Show him that you guys encourage by his willingness to offer himself up for service. Mr. Scott had a little laugh before the show about another candidate running in another area. I just fell in love with this person because they said they were running for mayor, and they didn't even know anything about their city. They just knew that they loved the fact that their city was a family-oriented city. And for me, my hat is off to anybody that just offers themselves up for services. So, Mr. Scott, is there anything else you want to share or say to the people? This is your timing, sir.
I just want to thank you for this platform. Thank you for your time, allowing me to come on. And definitely, August 25th is a very important date for not only Centerpoint, but municipalities, around the area. So exercise your right to vote. You have from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Get out, go before you go to work. If you can't make it before, make plans to stop by before the polls close. You have until 7 o'clock. So get out, vote, and I appreciate y'all.
And the absentee ballots work too, right? When does the absentee ballot stop for municipal races?
You have until the 24th to get it in. So if you request it now, they'll send it out to you. Just contact the city clerk's office and make sure it's postmarked by the 24th.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Scott, this gentleman is running for mayor, y'all, in Centerpoint. Somebody said they wanted change. Well, there's your change right there for you. That's one of the gentlemen, Mr. Bobby Scott, running for mayor of Centerpoint. Please make sure you stay in the city of Centerpoint. Hit him up, talk to him, ask him questions, grill him. Find out does this man deserve to be your leader for your city. Mr. Scott, thank you so much for being a part of this evening. And if you could spare me just 4 more minutes, I'm gonna put you back in the green screen and bring Cleo King up for a second.
All right, no problem.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Listen, this gentleman here, I have mad respect for. He is a former city councilor of a great city of Bessemer. He's a good friend of mine. He's sometimes my headache. So, but I like the fact that he's my headache because he keeps me going on some comments. Ladies and gentlemen, he is still the honorable Cleo King. Mr. King, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother Josh?
Hey, I'm good. Let's talk for a second about municipality races. You know a lot about municipality races, being the fact you've not only ran for city council and won, but then you ran for mayor, and you are continually still involved in municipal races. What does this August 25th election look like?
Well, because of COVID-19, this is something that I hope that every candidate is taking in mind, especially talking about getting the vote out. It's very important that they get creative, and as far as getting their message out, getting the platform out, so that those voters who are in their particular areas will know that they're actually on the ballot. A lot of people may not realize, but it's several municipalities who's on the ballot on August the 25th. The only it's maybe a few, with the exception of Bessemer, Birmingham, and a few others that's not on the ballot, but the vast majority of other municipalities around Jefferson.
I don't know what happened to him. We're going to try to see if we can get him back. All right, Mr. Scott, real quickly before you leave, the reason I wanted to hold you here, school system in Centerpoint is something someone just texted me and asked me to ask you real quickly. The school system in Centerpoint. What is the vision of the mayor's office, your administration, to support the school system?
Okay. Well, our schools are Jefferson County schools in Centerpoint, so we don't have city ran schools. It is a Jefferson County school, but definitely, being open and available for whatever they need at any particular time. I was a big as when I was PTA of the intermediate school, Ms. Logan Marshall knew that she had access to me whenever she needed it. If it was for a career day, bringing in supplies for flu season, and I intend to keep that door open for any of the school principals. The Eagles Club, which is hosted by Ms. Holyfield, our assistant principal at the elementary school. So she mentors first, second graders, and I invited me along. So it was very generous of her to allow me to come in and talk to the kids and help their program along. So whatever the schools need, I'm definitely open to helping.
Definitely. Yes, Centerpoint does have a mayor and a full city council. I just saw that comment. Mayor, they do have a mayor and a full city council. They got public works. They got all that.
Yeah.
Mr. Scott, thank you again so much for taking out the time to being with us this evening. Let your friends know I'm waiting on them.
Okay, I will. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Once again, Bobby Scott, running for mayor of Centerpoint. Make sure you guys find out his information. Go to his Facebook, his website. Learn what you can, why you can. August 25th is election day. Get out and vote. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Cleo King is in the building. Cleo, hold on. All right, Cleo. Can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can. I don't know what happened, but okay. So you were saying?
Oh, are you talking to me, Josh? I'm sorry.
The municipal races, August 25th, as I stated, is just August 25th catapults what happens November 3rd.
Can you hear me, Josh?
How important, what takes place for this municipal race to happen? Can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Lost back signal here. All right, so yeah, it's vital important that every candidate who's on the ballot coming out August 25th assure that the voters that know that they're actually on the ballot. A lot of people may be reluctant to get out because of COVID-19, but we definitely got to make sure that this is a test for us. Those voters in those particular areas who will be going to the ballots, or either those individuals who will be voting by mail. Ideally, for individuals who will be voting by mail, make sure that you get your information in early so that you can make sure that your ballot will actually be counted, your vote will be counted. And leading to that, it's very important that people exercise their vote. I know recently in this last runoff election across the spectrum in Alabama, it was a very poor turnout for the Democrats. On that runoff election we have for treasurer of Jefferson County. And so it's vital important we get people out to vote. For me, I take pride in exercising my right to vote. Oftentimes I was just looking at the Freedom Riders on a show that was some time ago, and just thinking about what people went through, the sacrifice, so that we can have the opportunity to be able to get our vote in as citizens of America. And so it's crucial. It's important that people get their message out, get their platform out, let people know what they're standing for and what they're looking to do and what they're looking to bring to their communities. I will say, I heard Mr. Scott talk about transparency. That's one of the key components of, I think, any individual who's running for office to be transparent.
All right, I'm not sure what just took place. Ray said, I sure thought Centerpoint was part of Birmingham. No, as of 2002, they were, they ended up becoming their own city. And I think Mr. Scott's still in my green room. I'm going to ask him real quickly. So the Centerpoint was originally part of Birmingham, right?
It was unincorporated Jefferson County.
Unincorporated Jefferson County. 2002, right. That is when they become incorporated, correct?
Right. They had to go around from door to door and get signatures in order to become their own city. So, yeah, in 2002, they created Centerpoint as a municipality, which the city has always been Centerpoint. So, even back in the 50s, it was always Centerpoint. It was just unincorporated Jefferson County. So okay. That's why on Carson Road, you have areas where it's Birmingham, unincorporated Jefferson County, Centerpoint, trash pickup for your neighbor's houses on a different day than trash pickup for another house.
Right.
It's because some people got the choice to decide whether they wanted to stay in Birmingham or be unincorporated or be in Centerpoint. Normally, I don't think you get that choice, but yes, a lot of our residents had that choice. If you're on the outside borders of the city, that you could remain in unincorporated Jefferson County, or you could come into Centerpoint.
See, you just taught me something because I always try to figure out how in the world, if I go to my friend's house here in Birmingham, and I go really across the street and now I'm in Centerpoint.
Centerpoint, yeah, we have.
And it's always interesting too, because some of those businesses, I never know if they're Centerpoint or they're Birmingham. But I tell people a lot of times, once you pass Cathedral to cross, you're in Centerpoint, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. Once you pass Cathedral at a cross, all the way down to where the Grant's gas station is, where Westchester is. Westchester is Birmingham, but 2 streets before that is Centerpoint. So Dogwood Lane, if you go down to Westchester and you turn on Second Place Northwest and come back up, you'll be back in Centerpoint. So yeah, it's a little iffy on the edges, but yeah, we make it work.
Definitely. I'm personally, I'm not running for anything in Centerpoint, but I need to get a map just so I can know when I'm in Centerpoint, when I'm in Birmingham.
Well, I could provide you the Centerpoint map so you at least know when you're in Centerpoint.
I got you. My brother actually has a business there. My family lives there, so and it's crazy once again because somehow it's Birmingham, sometimes it's Centerpoint, but definitely. So yes, to answer your question, it was unincorporated, now it's incorporated, it has its own city, it has its own city government. Y'all got a city clerk too, right? Yeah.
We do have a city clerk, yes.
You guys just don't have a magistrate. Right. Okay. See, I'm learning the city of Centerpoint tonight, y'all. I'm learning it. I'm not sure what happened to Cleo, but I do thank you for coming in. Maybe we can get them on tomorrow night. I am once again appealing to every single person. If you have not reached out to me, you're running August 25th. Please inbox me, email me, text me, smoke signal me. Not to sound cocky, but everybody knows me. So just get in touch with somebody and they will give you my phone number so we can have you here on Motors with the Motivator, because people need to know why you're running and what you need to do. All right, y'all, we're going to do one more commercial and then I'm out of here. So stay tuned for this one commercial. It's just a teaser video from the recent conversation that former Vice President Joe Biden had with former President Barack Obama. And by the way, today is his birthday. Happy birthday to one of the greatest presidents we've had, the 44th President, Barack Obama. Stay tuned.
Can you imagine standing up when you're a president saying, it's not my responsibility? I take no responsibility. It's not, I mean, literally. Literally.
Those words didn't come out of our mouths while we were in office.
I don't understand his inability to get a sense of what people are going through. He just can't relate in any way.
Well, and one of the things that I have always known about you, Joe, it's the reason why I wanted you to be my vice president and the reason why you were so effective. And it all starts with being able to relate. If you can sit down with a family and see your own family in them and the struggles that you've gone through or your parents went through or your kids are going through, if you can connect those struggles to somebody else's struggles, then you're going to work hard for them. And that's always what's motivated you to get into public service.
Wow. All right, Cleo. All right, we're going to try this one more time. So, Cleo,
I know, right?
Just a little time left. Can you go give people the process for absentee ballots for the municipality? I think every municipality has the same step for absentee ballot, correct?
It is correctly, but I do know that several cities and several candidates don't utilize that resource, which is vitally important. I would recommend that strongly to every candidate, that you get out and seek absentee ballots. In a sense, those are what they call the sure votes for those individuals, in a sense, who won't be able to make it to the polls or you have a lot of seniors, for instance, now in particular with COVID, who won't be getting out going to the ballot box. So what I would strongly recommend that you identify those and pick up those through your um, county office to get those absentee ballots. And I don't know what the deadlines are for those particular cities and prospective municipalities, but I know it's vital important that you get those in because they are assured votes for you as a candidate.
Awesome. All right, so Cleo, thank you. We gotta bring Cleo back on, y'all. So Cleo is my unofficial political correspondent. He be too busy for me, He even with COVID-19 going on, he's still
Hey,
going.
you know what, man? I actually reached out to you early on. I was like, hey, let's get together. Because exactly this was one of the reasons why I said let's get together, because I knew the season was coming up.
This is when you know you got friends that's got connection. Cleo, can you reach out to the Fairfield people for me? I'm publicly acting online. Can you please see if you can reach out? I
do that, but I do want to say one thing about Mr. Bobby Scott, who's a candidate for mayor of Centerpoint, who I consider a good friend. Had the opportunity to work with him and on a national level, not just on a local level, on a national level. He's active across the spectrum as far as Alabama League of Municipalities, National Black Caucus of local elected officials, NLC. So he's known and have those connections. One thing I do know about the importance of being active and networking is that you have several opportunities to get resources to help you in your endeavors as whatever office, whether it's city council, mayor, whatever it is, council at large, whatever it is, you have those resources. And I know that Mr. Scott has resources available to assist him in every endeavor as he get ready to lead the citizens of Centerpoint, Alabama.
All right, Mr. Scott, you got anything to say to that?
No, I appreciate Cleo. I consider Cleo a brother, so he's been there to help me at every step of the way. If I need him, I know I can count on him. So
definitely. Yo, great. I want to pinpoint something real quick, and then we're getting out of here. 2 extraordinary black men that have offered themselves up for services before. Cleo's done it before. Hopefully he'll do it again. Bobby Scott has offered himself up, still offering himself and ready to be the next mayor of Centerpoint. So I want to thank you guys so much for taking out the time to be with us on this evening. Once again, I say it again publicly, any of the folks that are running for offices in Jefferson County, whatever municipality you're in, I welcome you on the show. If you have an insight or think that I am endorsing a particular candidate, I'm not. I am literally being impartial, being whatever you want me to be. I just want people to know who's running, and I want people to know the facts before August 25th. So this was supposed to start yesterday, so today's the official start of it. We're doing these interviews all the way up to the 19th. So any municipality is welcome to come on, as long as you're in the Jefferson County area. And I look forward to seeing you guys. Hey, I'm Joshua Raby from Motors with the Motivator himself. Thank you guys so much. Be blessed, be encouraged. Don't give up. I guarantee you, life gets better, all because you are part of it. Have a great evening.